Hello everyone, myself Dr. Venkat S. Mani, Head of Chemical Engineering Department, KK Wagh Institute of Engineering Education and Research, Nasik. We are going to discuss about minimum liquid to gas ratio for absorbers. First of all, we talk about what is meant by the absorption. Absorption is the process of separating the components of gaseous mixture by using liquid solvent. The liquid solvent is nothing but called as solvent. So its important is that how much quantity of liquid is required for the greater degree of the separation. The components of gaseous mixture we are separating by using the liquid solvent. Okay, now minimum liquid to gas ratio, that is minimum L by G, liquid to gas ratio. What is the significance of minimum liquid to gas ratio for the absorber? Let us consider the counter current process, that is gas we are passing from the bottom of the absorber and the liquid we are entering from the top of the absorption column. Okay, the operating line for the absorption column you are getting as above the equilibrium curve, that which passes from the 2 points x1 y1 point and x2 y2 point with a positive slope, that is Ls by Gs. Now how much is the value of minimum liquid to gas ratio, that we are calculating from this graph. Okay, the graph is plotted against x versus y, that is moles of the more volatile component or moles of solute upon moles of non-diffusing solute in liquid phase to that of the moles of solute upon non-diffusing solute in the gas phase. Capital X versus capital Y. This is the equilibrium curve. Y is a function of the capital X. This is the operating line passes through the 2 points x1 y1 and the x2 y2 point. Let us see this point having the values x2 y2. E point is having the value x1 y1, the operating line with a slope of Ls by Gs. Okay, now we are moving to the right side. Instead of this operating line, suppose this is the operating line. Okay, that is the point F, where the y1 is constant. Y1 is the mole fraction, moles of a component, that is diffusing component to that of the non-diffusing component in the gaseous phase. This is constant. Okay, y1 is throughout constant. The value of x1 is going to be changed. Okay, this is the value of x1. Now this is the value of x1. This is the value from the point M. You will be getting x1. As we are going to the right side, the slope of the operating line for the absorber goes on decreases. This one is the line with the intersection, that is not the intersection, the tangent at the point P. This is the line with the tangent P. It gives the minimum liquid to gas ratio for the absorber. The operating line when tangent to the equilibrium curve, it gives the minimum liquid to gas ratio. At the minimum liquid value, you will be having the x1 value maximum. X1 value maximum. See, this one is a x1 max. And the slope of the operating line at the minimum liquid to gas ratio is Ls minimum by Gs. Okay, Ls minimum by Gs. Okay, that means when the operating line is tangent to the equilibrium curve, it gives the minimum liquid to gas ratio. Okay, for the actual operation of the absorber, the actual liquid to gas ratio is generally greater than that of the minimum liquid to gas ratio. That means while designing the absorber, we should know how much is the minimum Ls by Gs. Then actual Ls by Gs is greater, that is around 20 to 30% greater than that of the minimum liquid to gas ratio. Okay, this is one condition, one case. Another, if you see the second, that is B graph. Okay, here also the capital X versus Y graph is there. Okay, the operating line is intersecting to the equilibrium curve. This also gives us the minimum liquid to gas ratio for the absorber. That means the operating line if it is tangent to the equilibrium curve or if it is intersecting to the equilibrium curve, then it gives the minimum liquid to gas ratio for the absorber. Now, this is basically if there is a minimum flow rate of the liquid and the gas, then what will happen? For getting the high mass transfer rate, the infinitely tall tower is required, and if the infinite tall tower is there, then cost also increases, which is not feasible. That means this is the limiting ratio. Limiting ratio. The actual liquid to gas ratio should be greater than that of the minimum liquid to gas ratio. That's why we are studying how much is the value of minimum liquid to gas ratio, which is nothing but the limiting ratio, limiting liquid to gas ratio. This is nothing but the significance of minimum liquid to gas ratio. For once you know minimum liquid to gas ratio, then you can take the higher value of the actual liquid to gas ratio. Okay, for the absorber, the minimum liquid to gas ratio we consider. For the stripper, it is reverse. That means we call it as a maximum liquid to gas ratio. Maximum liquid to gas ratio, because stripping is a reverse of absorption. The solid get transferred from gas phase to the liquid phase in the absorption, and in the stripper the solid get transferred from liquid phase to the gas phase. Have you understood? The driving force is from gas phase to the liquid phase in the absorption, and in the stripper the driving force is from liquid phase to the gas phase. Therefore, in the stripper we consider that as a maximum liquid to gas ratio. Okay, this is about the information of minimum liquid to gas ratio for the absorber and maximum liquid to gas ratio for the stripper. Okay, thank you very much.